What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 8th video in the Cashing In on Short-Term Rentals Masterclass. This video is brought to you by the Strategic Advisory Board and my company, the Build Don't Buy Short-Term Rental Masterclass. So in this video, I wanted to give you guys a really high-level view on deal structures and then partnership structures. So deal structures and partnership structures. After I built my first 3 cabins, I was fully tapped out on my finances. And that might be you right now without even like building or owning any type of property. You want to get into this, but you just don't have the money, you don't have the credit. And that's practically where I was at after my 3rd property. Even with bringing in all this money, I still was like, no bank would look at me because I was sort of tapped out on my finances. And so I decided to bring on my first couple partners when I first started. And originally I had just done joint venture deals. The difference between a joint venture deal and what I'm going to be talking about in the next video, like syndications and all this fun stuff, is that I just had one partner. And you can look at joint venture deals as syndications, but I sort of went to friends and people that knew what I was working on, and I had asked them to be my partner, just one partner at a time. So a really good example of this is my very first partner was a good friend of mine. He had given me about $100,000 and we built 2 cabins together. And the way the deal structured worked was I have about anywhere between a 5 to 10% management fee, and then we own 50-50 of the rest of the deal. So my partner was completely passive. He had nothing to do with the project outside of just writing a check and helping me guarantee the loan. And that's another big thing that I want you, whatever investor you approach to do projects with, is if you're tapped out on your finances, they need to be able to have the financial backing to be able to guarantee the loan with you, essentially a co-borrower on the loan. That is part of their worth on coming to the deal. That's how I structured my first 3 or 4 deals before I started working with funds and syndications. And it got me probably, I want to say 8 to 10 projects, to 8 to 10 more cabins of just doing it that way. And that's what I'd recommend to you when you're first starting, is I want you to think about someone that you're close with, friends or family. I'd recommend friends over family to start. But anyone that you're super close with that you may know that has some money lying around that they don't really know what to do with, or maybe they're just in the stock market and getting crushed right now, or maybe they're just in certain investments that they're just not comfortable or they're not making too much money. I want you to approach them with a short-term rental deal. And like I said, every deal is different, and I'd recommend consulting a lawyer or a CPA with this because things can get a little tricky depending on what state you're in. But I've always done 50-50, where I own 50% of the deal and 50% of the cash flow outside of what the investor originally puts in. Whenever we sell or refinance the property, they're usually refunded their money they originally put in, and then everything is split up 50-50 from there. And then there's things that you can like put in like 1 to 3% acquisition fees. You can put in development fees. But just a very high level general joint partnership, it's usually 50-50, or at least my deals have been 50-50, and I have some sort of management fee attached to the deal as well, where the management fee anywhere between 5 to 10% comes off the top, and then everything is split after all bills are paid, all expenses are paid, all mortgage payments, everything is paid, and everything is split 50-50 from there. The way it looks like this is how I've usually done it, and this was just on the recommendation of my attorney, is we incorporated LLC together. The investor owns 50% of the deal. I own, or 50% of the LLC. I own the other 50%. And then that LLC then purchases the property and then is on the loan documents. Usually, we talked about lenders in the last video. Usually a debt service coverage ratio lender will allow you to do, or a loan or lender will allow you to do something like that, where you can close in the LLC. Most of the time, if you're doing like a debt to income ratio loan, the lender will not allow you to close in an LLC. At least that's what's been my experience with these. Again, this is very high level stuff, but this is how I did my first like 3 to 4 deals where I built another 10 cabins before I started working with funds. If you guys are interested, I put together an entire section. It's over like, I want to say an hour and a half worth of videos, like 10-15 videos on how to structure joint venture deals together. There's also a joint venture template in my course. So if you guys are interested in that, in my masterclass, in the Build Don't Buy Short-Term Rental Masterclass. That's in the link in the description below. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. In the next video, what I want to be talking about is how I raised, in the 9th video, how I raised $5 million in 90 days. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.